Parents of Reddit, what was your oh god I've raised a monster moment? Had a neighborhood kid babysitting for my little ones after school. She had some other kids over who got into the liquor cabinet. We told her divorce mom, who very indignantly told us we were lying. About a month later her dad comes to the house with a bottle of Kurswasser, alcohol used for cooking fondue, a couple cheap gold necklaces from my wife, a spare key to our house and an old checkbook from a closed bank account. He apologized profusely, and I remember him saying I never thought my kid would be the bad kid in the neighborhood. It was painful to see. When I watched my younger son walk out on the porch, pick up a plastic wiffle bat, look at it, look at his older brother sitting on the porch steps, look back at the bat, and then haul back, and crack his brother's head like Babe Ruth popping one out of the park, I could watch his thought process in 5 seconds time. But, brother, but, hit, no hesitation. My 6-year-old has always had weird interests. She asked me to show her pictures of what's in our bodies. I showed her diagrams on Google, and she said, no, I mean inside of a real body, like a dead person. I showed her some random picture of an arm surgery, and she was begging for more. Also, she always asks me to stop, so she can look at dead animals on the road. When my childhood dog died, she tried to sneak and look inside the bag, while I was bawling. We are really pushing for the medical field, and not a serial killer field. Edit, I feel as though I need to add this to the original comment. She has never shown any signs of aggression or desire to hurt people/animals. She is a very sweet child and doesn't even like it when we kill bugs or cut down the weeds in our yard. She shows respect for life, but is definitely interested in bodies. I'm not sure she understands what death is or what it means yet lol. I'm a science teacher and my wife is a nurse, so we definitely encourage her interest in science. Also, thank you for the silver and the gold. Edit 2, this has blown up bigger than I expected. I cannot possibly respond to everyone, but please know that I am saving all the YouTube channels, books, and other recommendations I'm receiving. Thank you everyone for the kind and reassuring comments. We also already have tickets to go to the bodies exhibit near us, just haven't had the time. It's about 2 hours away. When I was a teenager, my friend's little brother had a ton of psychotic tendencies. A couple of examples I remember is him putting their dog in a cooler and suffocating it because it was being annoying. Also, he once ran into my friend's room, handed me a knife, went to the kitchen and sliced his own arm and proceeded to tell his parents that I cut him. What is even weirder is that even when they saw me holding a knife, they didn't believe him for a second. Well, about 3 years ago he shot his dad, so I'd say he was / is a monster. Edit, I guess it's psychopathic and not psychotic. My bad. Today, my 3-year-old dipped her cantaloupe in ketchup and ate a whole plate of it. Edit, dang guys, thanks for the coinage. Also, since it's raised some concern, I'm a pediatric pharmacist. All legit drug giving, I promise. My mom found out a lack of parenting with my brother went wrong when he tried to choke me out for accidentally kicking him. I don't even remember being choked, but apparently it was so bad he had to go to anger management and therapy for 3 years. This chilling conversation with my then 4.5-year-old daughter. Mommy, do you love me? Of course, my darling. I love you forever and always, no matter what. Even after I kill little brother's name. Sweet as pie smile on her face and serious look in her eye. At the time she had recently learned to tie knots and I'd already had to take her jump ropes away as I'd found her with one tied around little brother's neck pretending he was a horsey eater. As to an update many wanted, they're now 11 and 8, so clearly he survived being her younger brother this far. She does love him dearly, but sibling rivalry and frustration definitely occur sometimes. At that age she loved to question me about everything, so I don't think she was actually formulating a plan to kill him so much as to ask me just how much I loved her. Certainly, I took away all jump ropes / sashes / etc for a year or two till she got over the knot tying obsession. My response to her during that conversation was, I would still love you, but my heart would also be broken, because I love him too, and I would be so sad every day if he wasn't here with us. I gently asked her things to trigger her talking about what she loved about him and what she was looking forward to being able to teach him when he got a bit older. It ended up being a more positive conversation despite the chilling start. Years ago, my wife and I had a very heated argument. Our daughter overhears us and comes into the room. Just as things hit their peak, my wife rushes into the bathroom crying. I'm left sitting on the bed feeling low, listening to my wife sob on the other side of the door. Our daughter looks up at me with a smile and says mom is crying and proceeds to laugh loud enough for mom to hear. And with that, I was in trouble for something entirely new. When our 13-year-old decided to steal $200 that was hidden in my desk 1 week before Christmas, he then spent it all in one day on candy and yelled at us for confiscating what was left of it. He also told us it was our fault for leaving money in the house. To confirm that he is a horrible person, he told his mum that he doesn't like seeing anyone else happy, which is why he broke his 1-year-old brother's things. My 11-year-old son recently called 911 and said I slapped him. CPS came. It was a cluster. It was so well orchestrated, he even took a picture of himself with a red mark on his face. I didn't slap him and it eventually got debunked, although he still won't admit it. A couple months later, he told his dad I forced him to make the old dirty 2-finger licking gesture, take a pic, and send it to him. He lives with his dad now and isn't allowed here until I can afford a camera system. Still unclear on a motive. Okay, this is not my kid, but my mom found out she was raising an asshole when we were out baby clothes shopping with my pregnant aunt, whose first baby had died a few days after birth a year or two earlier, and my brother says what are you buying it clothes for when you don't even know it's going to live? I have 3 sons, 8, 23, and 26. The middle one, Andrew, boasted to me that he had sex with over 30 chicks on Tinder, and with some of them in my bed. Yeah, Andrew, you're a dick. Congrats. When my son blithely told me he wants to play the documentary Under the Curve for his classmates because he is trying to convince them the world is flat. He admits he knows it is not, but he is trying, actively, to con them into thinking it is. My kid was 12 at the time. We were driving their friend home after a sleepover. They were taking turns roasting each other in the back seat. Then my kid says your parents probably knew you would stutter, that's why they named you Aaron. Yes, he did have a stuttering problem. Teaching my kid the value of money, we'd give her tuck shop / snack money in the day and we later found out she was just giving it away, not understanding the value of money at all. A few long deep conversations, where I hate to admit I became a capitalist poster boy later, and she starts to understand that money has a value, how hard it can be to get and that it's even harder to keep. Fast forward a few weeks later, we run out of milk and I only have my card and no cash on me, plus our local shop will only now accept card purchases over £10. So I figure I'll ask my darling angel little girl if I can borrow £1 for milk and put it back tomorrow. No, you can't have my money, daddy. I earned it, and you need to learn responsibility. That money doesn't just fall from the sky and you can't just go around giving everything away, as pretty soon you'll have nothing. I suck at parenting. I have 2 sons. One is 11 and the other 7. The 7-year-old is special, highly intelligent and very social, but also does a lot of deep thinking. Early one Sunday morning he came up to me, out of the blue, and said, "Dad, how do ducks work?" I was all, how to what? What? Ducks? Hull in a half sleep state. Before I could work out what he wanted to know, he said, "I guess if I open one up, I'll find out," and walked away. Honestly spent a good hour looking for ducks and watched him carefully when he went near the kitchen utensils. Edit. Oh yeah, there was also the time when he learned how to float in a pool after watching a documentary about shipwrecks. He could swim, but never relax and float on his back. He can now, he just pretends to be a dead body floating away. Thanks YouTube. My 6-year-old daughter told me to shave that thing off my goatee. Couple days later I did. I asked her, "Do you like it?" She makes a bit of a face and says, "No, I didn't know your chin was so small." When my son decided in the grocery store parking lot that it would be fun to scream, "You're not my mommy. Where's my mommy? You're not my real mom." He had this evil smirk on his face as I panicked and tried to explain what could happen if someone heard that. He started yelling it louder. Edit. Thank you for all the parenting tips, but we are good. Trust me, he doesn't get away with stuff. No, I'm not going to slap him across the face or beat him. He was disciplined. He learned his lesson. I can laugh about it now. He is a mini-me, and my parents often remind me that he is karma for all the crap I put them through. Daddy, can you get me this game called The Sims? Sure. Surprised you've heard of it. Oh yeah, Susie says it's so much more satisfying killing people instead of the pigs I kill in Minecraft. Is your main reason for playing video games so you can kill things? Well, keeps me from doing it in real life, so I don't see the problem with that. Then she winked at me. I still don't know if she was just fucking with me